Hey guys, today we're gonna make cinnamon buns out of leftover challah dough. So we get 5 challahs instead of 6 out of one batch of my dough, and we make cinnamon buns too, because bonus, sprinkle your work surface with flour and roll it into a rectangle. The thinner you roll it out, the more filling you'll have per bite. I just stretch it into a rectangle, and we brush our dough with some almond milk just to moisten it. Have a nice even coating. Next, we prepare our filling. 1.5 cups of confectioner sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon, and mix it together. Now don't worry if there are clumps of cinnamon or clumps of confectioner sugar, that's totally fine. It all melts in your mouth the same way afterwards anyway. Sprinkle this mixture over the almond milk. What you want is an even coating of the confectioner sugar mixture, so you might not use all of it. And now we start to roll. Pull it and fold over. And then start from that edge. Do that same kind of pulling, folding over motion. Bring it to the end and pinch it closed. It's okay if it's messy, it's all gonna bake together anyway. And now you have your log. We cut this into 12 portions and place it in our baking pan, coated with nonstick cooking spray. I like to cut it in half first, and then in half again, and each one into 3, so that my portions are as even as possible. See that? That's all gonna melt together and become that crunchy, sweet, ooey gooey cinnamon filling. Don't spill it out, you need that. Cradle it as you place it in the pan. Leave some space for them to rise, they will. So don't worry if they're not touching and they're supposed to be, they will touch. Now any of this leftover can really be sprinkled over the top or in the cracks in between, and that leaves the gooey bottom. And that's it, they're ready to bake. We took our cinnamon buns out of the oven and we allowed them to cool, and now they need a glaze because you always need a glaze. So we start with some confectioner sugar and add a little bit of canola oil, about 1 tablespoon, and a few tablespoons of boiling hot water. You'll see the sugar start to melt instantly, and just mix it up. It should be pourable, but still thick, kind of like honey. With the back of the spoon, press against the bowl to get rid of all those clumps. And you can totally pour it straight out of the spoon onto the cinnamon buns, but what I like to do is pour it from a zip top bag. So we just open one and place it into a glass just to stand upright so it doesn't spill over. We pour the contents of the bowl into the glass. We seal it up and we snip a corner at the end, and we'll drizzle it over in this really pretty, neat, very even way. Whoops, that one's mine. The more glaze, the better. Just keep going and drizzle up the whole thing. If it's all covered, that's good. That's what people want to see. And here we have these gorgeous cinnamon buns. And I'm gonna take a bite, because they're so ooey gooey and perfect. You see that nice crackling on the bottom of this sugar that melted off? You can find the recipe for cinnamon buns and the challah dough on Kosherdotcom. So good.